This is a really easy example of evaluating an integral using the limit definition and Riemann sums for those of you that are just trying to pass your test, okay? We're gonna be doing just x squared, okay? The first thing you need to do is figure out what delta x is, and that's gonna be b subtract a, so it's gonna be 2 subtract 0 over n, right? So 2 subtract 0 over n, pretty simple, just 2 over n. Now you need to figure out what your xi is, and that's going to be a plus delta x times I. Luckily for us, a happens to be 0. So we have 0 plus 2n times I, which just equals 2i over n. So now we're going, another pro tip is right here, this is our formula, and there's supposed to be a limit here, just limit as n approaches infinity. We're going to leave that out, because the second you write limit, you have to keep on writing, and that's just annoying. So if you just wait to write it until you actually need to use it, you're okay. And we have to use f of xi, so we have to put our 2i over n into f of x, which is just going to be 2i over n squared. And when you're just learning it, something to forget is do not forget to times that by your delta x. And as we've shown, our delta x is 2n. First step is to time or square everything in there to get rid of the exponent. Remember BEDMAS. And then we want to distribute this. A tip is make sure you don't forget about timesing these ends together. That was a mistake I learned a lot at the start. So now we have 8i squared over n cubed. So now what we're going to do is we have to start to use our summation formulas. But you can see here, the summation formulas, this is the summation thing, by the way, it just means add everything. The only thing that it cares about is the I. So if we can pull our 8 over n cubed out, it makes things a lot easier for us. So this is what we have now. So right now we just need to replace our I squared with the summation formula, which I will throw up on the screen for you. So this right here just got replaced by that. This here is typically the hard part, because the way professors teach it is they want you to expand it all out and you just get this like huge big mess. What we're going to do now is we're finally going to use our limit. I didn't really have to write it up there. And as you may remember from Calculus 1, when you're using or you're doing the limit to infinity, to solve it there's a highest power. So if you look right here, we have an n cubed on the bottom, right? I've seen n here, n here, n here. So when all those get times together, right, that's just going to create another n cubed, which is going to cancel out with that, right? So what you're left with then is you have an 8 times a 2 over 6. And then that's your final answer, 8 over 3. The two things to remember the couple things to remember from this. You don't need to write the limit thing until you get here and you've got rid of your summation formulas. Once you've created your summation or you've replaced the summation with the formula, don't worry about expanding it all out. Just kind of look at it and see what you have. And when you're going through, like when you're doing this, don't forget about the 2 there. It depends on your summation formula, but you need to look at it. Because if you forget the 2 there, you just have 8 over 6, and then you have the wrong answer. Or don't forget about the 6. The shortcut is kind of, if you're not going to expand everything out, you kind of just need to look at it. And it's easier to look at it than to expand it all out.